Hey Josh, what desk did you get?
A Desky desk.
What sort of desk?
A Desky desk. It's like one of these, but spelt with a D.
And you put it together by yourself?
Yeah, sure did. They even delivered to my door. I had it assembled within 30 minutes. Let me show you how. So to get started, all you need is a pair of scissors and a Phillips head screwdriver. That's the one with the star-shaped end. It's the only tool you need to assemble the Desky desk. Everything else is in the box. You could use an electric drill as well, but it's not completely necessary. Leave the large desktop size box unopened for now, and then open the other boxes and lay the items out on a protected area like a rug or a mat, and then that way you avoid anything getting scratched. Make sure you account for all the pieces out of each box prior to throwing away any packaging, and you can find a full list of parts inside the instruction manual for your convenience. Now we're ready to assemble the Desky. With the two crossbar ends attached out of the box, use the small hex key to loosen the 8 grub screws holding the crossbar ends together. Then slide apart the crossbar ends and separate the parts, keeping the crossbar rails to the side for later. Position a crossbar end on its side, so with the holes facing up, insert a leg into this crossbar end so the holes from the side of the leg line up with the holes on the crossbar end. Carefully insert 2 C10 screws through the crossbar and into the leg, and using that large hex key, screw them all in place, but do not completely tighten any of them yet, and do this for both sides of the leg. Next, we're going to attach the side bracket. So I find having the leg on a supported angle like this is the easiest way to insert and tighten those screws. Position a side bracket flush against the back of the crossbar so the 4 holes line up with each other. Using 4 C10 screws, tighten the 2 outside screws first before tightening the 2 inside ones. Once these are secure, completely tighten the other 4 C10 screws on the side of the leg. With foot pads facing up, position a foot on the top of the leg. Insert 4 C10 screws into the leg, hand tightening them all first, before screwing them down tight in a crisscross pattern. Now go ahead and repeat all the previous steps to complete the other leg. Next, remove the desktop from the box and place it with its bottom side facing up. Place 1 leg assembly onto the upturned Desky, aligning holes on the side bracket with those to the side of the desk. Using the 2 crossbar rails, with their hollow cutouts facing inwards to each other, insert these rails into the crossbar end. Now position the opposite leg assembly onto the Desky and slide the rails into its crossbar end, connecting the 2 legs. From here, adjust the width of the frame, pulling the 2 halves apart until all holes on the desktop line up with the side brackets. Ensure the cable management attachment holes are facing towards the back of the desk. The front will be recognised with 2 holes drilled into either side of the edge of the Desky. Insert and secure the 3 screws into the side bracket and tighten securely to the desk. There's an additional screw on the inside of the crossbar you need to tighten as well. Then repeat this process for the other side of the desk. From here, align the crossbar rails to be centered, and using a small hex key, screw the 8 grub screws down into the crossbar and secure the rails tight. To attach the control panel to the desk, there's holes available on either side of the Desky for left or right installation. Line up the pre-drilled holes in the desktop with those of the controllers. Use 2 C11 wood screws to secure the controller in place. I find leaving it slightly loose now helps it get perfectly aligned once I've flipped the desk up. And if you've purchased a cable management channel like this one, now is the perfect time to be installing it. Slide one end of the cable channel into the side bracket and extend the length to meet the opposite side. Tighten the center knob to secure the channel from sliding back out, and insert the spring-loaded release screws into the side bracket, lifting the channel up to do so. Once in place, it'll be nice and secure. So now we're going to attach the control box to the desk, and this will depend on whether you have that cable channel or not, and be sure to check out the in-depth video on that channel if it is something that you've purchased or are interested in. But for this video, without that channel, we're going to position the control box in the middle of the desk and in between those 2 crossbar rails. Before screwing it in place, a good tip is to have the HS plug on the control box pointing towards the controller on the side of the desk, whichever side that is, so you limit the length of the cord from the controller to the control box. With the holes lined up on the Desky, use 2 C10 screws to secure the control box to the desktop. Next, it's time to connect power to the legs. With a Desky 1.5 meters or less, there's already attached power cables on each leg that should reach to plug nice and easy into the control box on either side. Otherwise, there's 2 extension leads to be used on larger Deskies or with a cable channel, and they simply plug into one side of the leg and the other to the control box. Next, connect the controller to the control box. With noticeable cord left over here, 3 well-positioned adhesive-backed cable clips can keep any hanging cords up and away. Or with use of that cable channel, you can run any of these wires through that hassle-free. And the last is the power cord. Once plugged into the control box, I wouldn't tie this down to the top of the desk yet until it is flipped and at maximum height to ensure the cable will reach. And now that we've completed the assembly, I would just go over all the screws to make sure they're nice and tight before you grab somebody to help you pop it onto its feet. And now all you need to do is plug the Desky in and initiate the controller to set the heights. Press and hold the down button until the desk reaches its lowest position. Then press and hold the down button until the display reads RST or reset. Press it again and the Desky will bop up and down for a second, display the height, and is now ready to use. And if you have any questions, be sure to get in contact with the team at desky.com.au and check out our other great videos on the range. I better get back to work. Oh, sushi.